Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Position of the Week. I'm here with Grandmaster Jacob Aagaard. We are from killerchesstraining.com and I bring a position for you to solve.
Okay, so black to play. So I see a lot of elements immediately. I sort of see the weakness of the dark squares around here rather than putting green on everywhere. Just get it. I see especially sort of like this square here feels a bit weak. White is, we can see here. I'm going to put these in red here. Everyone is defending the light square, so it feels like I should play on the dark squares, which is also connected to the fact that I have a dark squared bishop. So this is the first thing I see. Okay, so we have this weakness. For sure, white is wanting to take on f6 and damage my king side. I'm not too keen on that. I was wanting to make a combination with knight g4 and queen h4 check, but then I checked the rule book and there's a problem with the queen going from d7 to h4. Sort of the automated move is bishop d4, bishop f6, bishop f6, but I'm maybe worried there's a rook takes f6, pawn f6, knight f5, knight h5, or something in that direction where it will not be so easy for me to get pieces over to defend my king. And being checkmated is bad for my health. So these are sort of the things I see immediately. I just want to put that variation on the board if someone felt it was a little tricky to follow. So here we have here, and here. Or maybe even queen c3 first. Okay, I can always come back to this, but this is sort of like the thing I see. But also I see that that here, which is probably less of a positional threat, but it's a tactical threat that I only discovered now. Some of you are probably already thinking, oh gosh, he's an idiot. I'm not an idiot, I'm old. You have to have respect for your elders. Probably the whole c5 concept I was gonna end my long talk with is a little bit destroyed with this. So we have you could argue about what is black's worst placed piece or what's white's worst placed piece and stuff like that. I don't think that's so important in this position. I really need to deal with these problems. So I'm thinking stuff like my first thought originally was knight g4, pawn take4, knight g6, and then queen h4 winning back the knight and so on. It is a very nice idea. Unfortunately, the queen is not on d8 and my rook's hanging on b8. So a beautiful idea that has nothing to do with position. Now, of course, I should check the variation I did. So I said bishop to d4, bishop f6, rook f6, pawn f6, and knight h5. And here I'm seeing the queen d6. And I didn't see this originally. And this is really the reason why everything I said was nonsense, is check.
Yeah.
And then after king h1, I have time to play queen e5, and the knight is kicked back. And this is really important. So that means the same with queen c3. If I have played queen d6, knight h5 is not available, because if the bishop is gone from the queen to the king, there's only a knight in between. And that, my ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a pin.
Yes. I want to ask you a question here.
So here, like, that actually means that bishop d4 is the move I want to play if it was not for bishop b8. But after take on b8, now I'm really threatening like bishop e5, queen d6, and the knight is going to be very exposed. That's going to be queen h5 ideas. Like white desperately has to play king h1, I think. And then even then, I'm threatening take on a1. I have queen d6. Probably take a1, queen d6. Attacking the knight, attacking b4 is basically winning. Okay, this is going to be my answer. My variation is gonna be here. The threat of queen d6 or bishop e5 would be absolutely destroying. Like if the rook plays, like let's say rook ab1, I play queen d6, and I think this is just lost to bishop e5. Knight h5 is going to come, and I don't think there's. I have to be a little careful because there's queen f7. But even so, it's such big compensation. Okay, this is variation I want to check. Yeah, so I like bishop e5 best because it's a lower value piece attacking. Rook f3 is forced, more or less. And I can even play like in a position like this, a slow play knight g6, knight h4. Now knight h5 is threatened, queen f7 is not. So I'm not so worried about that. It really was about whether or not there's some great counterplay here. And like I was thinking king h1, and this it just looks like I'm taking b4, and even though it's just regaining the pawn that's sacrificed, now I'm not losing control of the dark squares. So like, I don't know, knight e2, and I play rook b4, and for sure black is rook b4, queen c3. So let's say, yeah, and I already doing a game for me, this would be considered like just thinking, like for example here I realize now that there's this but I just feel like here in general things are going in the right direction. Not necessarily right here, but even knight g6. It's not a position that by any means is over, but to me black looks like doing quite well if we can defend both the e5 and the rook. So here should maybe look into other options here. It's not impossible. There's a tactic with exploiting that the rook is hanging. Like I love some knight g4, and then unfortunately I cannot both give queen h6 and queen d4, and it is also not hanging, but it doesn't mean necessarily that there's no winning tactic there. Also, there's another thing in the position that e5 and sometimes queen e6 or knight ed5 or knight ed5 here, like here, and I wanted to play c5 and here, and then maybe here the queen can't defend the pawn. But this time it's losing a piece. Yeah. So it's sort of always trying to look for these tactics, but it is a feeling of things going in the right direction here, and I don't have to take on a1 as well. Maybe it's possible that I'm here saying my bishop is so strong that for the moment I don't want to take. But if white plays rook ab1, knight e2, and just takes the bishop, then maybe it's not the case. For me, this feels very natural, but it's by no means obvious. By no means obvious how to continue here. It feels like probably in this position I should accept the reality that the endgame is close to equal, maybe black's marginally better. The rook's very nicely placed, but the bishop could, long term be a good piece. I do want to play knight g6, knight e5, maybe knight h4, take bishop. yeah, I'm gonna say slightly better for black. Okay, so Renier, this is my thinking. I don't know how bad this was.
No, you are absolutely correct. I think that the main point is
like bishop d4 is like what else?
Yeah, but this is an important point. Like you want to take on b8, you don't want to take on a1.
Oh, I didn't even consider it.
Well, you are a grandmaster, but others might think that it's about the exchange. And here we are playing for the dark squares, basically. And I thought that here on king h1, you can just reverse the move order maybe.
But 92, what does it change?
So 92, I can take on b4.
And then you have rook b2, I guess. You don't have queen c3.
You don't have queen c3, and he doesn't manage to play d4 ever. Yeah.
Probably here we have to play something like here, and now you can play with the foot maybe even. and now take,
yeah.
But probably the queen will take anyway.
But you have won a tempo in this line.
Have I? I think the pieces are just on different squares.
Yeah, and your rook is not under attack. I think you can play knight g6 now and on d4 move your queen.
Yeah, and here, and maybe, I don't know, see equal material kind of thing.
Queen e6.
e6 attack here. And if we do this is certainly not shameful for black.
At all, yeah.
And otherwise, next move is knight h4 to eliminate this important defender. Okay, so and by the way, this is what we had talked about in previous videos, that I personally, from experience of just seeing so many positions and so many ideas over the years, I've given up caring about what's happened like on move 4. This is move 4 of the variation. I'm just going by feeling of is my position going the right direction? Have I solved the problems I'm trying to solve? Which in this position were actually quite dire. I'm about to lose something. Maybe bishop takes b8 is not a big threat because I can take with the bishop and the pin and stuff. Well, actually, bishop b8, d4, giving up that pawn, queen d4, king h1. Queen is defending, and otherwise e5. I think it's a real threat. Of course, black has some counterplay, but I prefer. Well, I'm not sure I prefer white. Maybe I prefer white, but I'm thinking queen e5 maybe wins from the spot in that variation. Let's see. Let's do this insert null move, which is over here somewhere. Is it here?
I think so.
I think this is it. This is sort of out of our view. So here, if no, it's not. Okay, let's say king h8 here. It doesn't matter. If take. So my idea here, my variation here fell absolutely flat by the fact that here, king h2 is avoiding losing in one move. Instead, it loses in two. But the whole actually shows that maybe take on b8 is not a big threat. But the take on f6 is, which is the first thing I saw. Well, I didn't see. I didn't see the rook. Well, was a much more serious threat. So okay, chess is always difficult. I think having an understanding of not just how chess works, but also how you approach chess. Chess is a problem-solving game. The main problem you're trying to solve is what should I play on the next move. You're not trying to calculate things to the end, especially not all the time, because then, as I said before, you need to calculate what actually happened to my time and why did I lose a move on time and move 28. But we're trying to solve problems. We're trying to find the best methods to solve problems, and that's what we do at killerchesstraining.com.
Right.
Best trainers and us.
I was wondering.
And best prizes. It's, if you want to spend time with nice people and get better at this wonderful game, then we're there for you. And we'd love to work with you.
Yeah. I was wondering if we should give our viewers, all our viewers, a little artificial brain check on what we analyze.
I'm sure that means something.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, if we should put what we look.
You want to put on the engine?
Yeah.
So there was very very sophisticated way of saying it. Okay, so here c5, rook f6, even bigger threat than bishop f6. Okay.
Yeah,
I just didn't take this at all. So here white is threatening rook f6, pawn f6, knight h5. I just didn't see it. Okay, so here it says, and okay, if take here is compensation. It took me a long time to realize we're pawn down. I forgot to count. But take, and then rook b1 seems to be best move.
Yeah.
And then bishop e5 or queen c7 or queen d6. So this is sort of
compensation. Yeah, it's no more. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, I was not afraid of bishop e5 d4. And queen d6 is a little bit less accurate again because of d4. So the point, I see the point why queen c7. This would be a separate problem, and the idea is you solve it later. So the problem here is if the queen is on d6, then knight f5 would attack the queen. So this is the reason for this being the better move order. But here black has opportunity to take, and the bishop remaining strong. And okay, queen f4 is a little bit too tactical for me.
Many things.
Yeah, like this is much more human to me.
Yeah.
Queen f4, knight d4, c5 is of course very pretty, but yeah, this is what we call click. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the big point of the exercise, you have to play bishop d4, that's for sure. But in the game, what I do remember was play, because I was playing white. My opponent did see bishop d4, but after bishop b8. He went for this move.
Oh, yeah, as I said, this move I didn't really consider. Bishop back to f4.
Exactly, and then bishop back to f4, and white was much better. Yeah.
And here, even without the extra pawn, it's a good position. So, yeah. Like probably played here.
Yeah, 92.
And 92, and here, what the difference is from the other position is black is winning the battle for the dark squares. The white winning the battle.
Yeah.
Dark square. And yeah, no, it's just gone wrong, yeah. And this was one of your blitz games, right?
Another one, yeah.
Another blitz game. Okay, so anyway, I know we look a little bit dark here, but we just thought this time, since we have reversed the travel schedule and I've come to Benidorm in Spain, which is close to where you live, would show you a bit of the background. But we hope you're doing well and you've enjoyed Position of the Week. And if you like chess, then killchesstraining.com is definitely a place to both enjoy it more, understand how it works better, how we play it better, and spend time with nice people. Take care very much, and see you again next time we play Position of the Week.